In the Idaho4 case, the public was told that DNA found on a knife sheath at the scene led them straight to Bryan Kohberger. But court documents unsealed in January 2025 tell a very different story. When the DNA was tested through investigative genetic genealogy, it didn't point to just one person. It pointed to several. In fact, one of those matches led straight to a family with 4 brothers. The lab built a family tree using partial DNA and public records. They believed the match was strong enough for investigators to contact one of the brothers, who agreed to a 3-way verification call. But after that call, he became suspicious and refused to cooperate. He told law enforcement, "Do not contact me again." And just like that, the investigation into the 4 brothers ended. No follow-up, no deeper digging, no real explanation why. Instead, Bryan Kohberger suddenly became the only suspect. Here's what they don't tell you. Genetic genealogy often returns multiple matches, especially when the DNA sample is partial. It doesn't prove identity. It points to possible relatives. And the databases they use, they're flawed, incomplete, still underdeveloped. Without full lab reports, no one knows how strong the match actually was. Bryan Kohberger's defense hammered this point in court. They demanded the full reports, but the state refused to turn them over. The defense accused prosecutors of hiding evidence that could have pointed to someone else, someone other than Bryan Kohberger, which according to the early DNA results is exactly what happened. The 4 brothers, they were never fully investigated, and the public was never told, until now. The lab had actually recommended following up. They wanted investigators to dig deeper, but when one brother refused, they just walked away. Why? Why give up on a lead backed by DNA? Why not push harder? Serious questions demand serious answers. Was the match stronger than they ever admitted? Why did the state fight so hard to keep the genealogy reports sealed? Could the real suspect have been one of the 4 brothers? The defense will argue this wasn't a search for truth. It was a rush to find someone. That Bryan Kohberger wasn't the only possibility. That real leads were abandoned. An initial alternate suspect list from the beginning? Remember, reasonable doubt doesn't need proof. It only needs possibility. And the story of the 4 brothers shows there were other suspects, real suspects, suspects backed by DNA, that investigators simply let go. Why? Was Bryan Kohberger just the easier target? We already know. Investigative genetic genealogy is flawed, and the databases are incomplete. They narrow it down, not by hard science, but by who fits the story, by who's easier to blame. Tell me your thoughts in the comments. Like, share, and subscribe for more explosive updates they never wanted you to hear.